Hello, gamers. My name is Basil, and I apologize if the audio sucks. I don't really know what I'm doing. Anyways, I thought I yap too much to my friends, and I need a hobby. So I thought we'd start things off with a little new to booktube tag, because what I'm planning on doing for most of this is book related stuff. I will probably be yapping about other things though, because I am a multifaceted person with a lot of interests. So this new to booktube tag is by Between Chapters. Honestly, I just wanted a tag to go off of because I'm bad at coming up with questions and I'm bad at thinking of things to say sometimes. So the first question of this tag is, where are you joining us from? And I happen to be a Canadian, and I happen to be from the province of British Columbia, which means I did, in fact, shit myself when the Four Nations face-off happened and Connor McDavid scored the overtime winner against the USA. So there you go. How old are you? Is the second question in this tag. I am in my early 20s, so I'm still a youngin', but not quite the most youngin' that I'll ever be. Also, if you have a problem with me holding my mic like this when it does have, I can make it a lapel mic, I'm gonna hold it like this because I like holding things. It's fun. It makes me, I like being tactile and going like, dep, 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 dep. Question number 3. Why am I joining BookTube? Honestly, I need a hobby that I'll get external validation from. I like both from people and also being able to see that I've actually made a creative output in my life. I also like to talk, and I think that maybe if I put my talking into something other than, I don't know, maybe if I stop sending my friends all of my thoughts and put them somewhere else, maybe I'll stop annoying them so much. So that's why I'm here. Question number 4. What is the meaning behind your channel name? In brackets, it also says if it's something other than your name. It is in fact not my actual name. It's like a pseudonym, a nom de plume, if you will. Yeah, Basil, whatever you want to say. It's something related to my name, but it's not my name. And Basil's books and other things also comes from the fact that I will be talking about books and other things also. Question number 5. What types of books do you read / want to talk about here? I want to read and talk about all sorts of books. I'm mainly into like literary fiction and modern classics, but I also like, you know, classics. I also want to push myself to read more fantasy and sci-fi. Yeah, I've been really in a weird, like, big, like, I want to read so much fantasy mood right now. So yeah, stay tuned if I end up doing that. Not really like a big romance girly, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Yeah, I also read a lot of like fan fiction. So I guess that's, I don't read romance books most of the time. I read fan fiction. Question number 6 is, who are some of your favorite authors? And I am actually, even though I've only read 2.5 of his books, Frederick Backman speaks to my soul. He likes to take out my heart and he likes to like squeeze it a little bit. He likes to like throw it on the ground and like stomp on it and do a little tap dance on it. And then he likes to pick it back up and put it back in my chest. So I like Frederick Backman, even though I've only read the first 2 books in the Beartown series and I'm currently reading the 3rd one. Another author I would say is one I enjoyed reading is Kazuo Ishiguro, even though I've only read 2 of his books as well, and I read them both for undergrad, so they were kind of like with a time limit, and we did a lot of close analysis on them, which is why I enjoyed them so much, I think. But yeah, he also had a similar kind of thing with his books where he just really made me like, I don't know, there was some bittersweetness to them, kind of like taking out my heart, squeezing it a bit, throwing it on the ground, etc. I just like books where like people kind of just like punch me in the chest. And then for nice BC, nice shout out to a local author. As a kid, I really enjoyed an author named Susan Nielsen. She wrote a book called Dear George Clooney, Please Marry My Mom. She's written a lot of good stuff, and it's like very like middle grade kind of vibes, but I still dig them. And yeah, those books like made me really get into reading. And then I also have some authors who I think could be favorites, who I've only read like 1 book from. And so like a couple of those are like Toni Morrison. I read Beloved for an undergrad class and I loved it. And I think that I really want to make a point of reading her other works because Beloved was great. Yeah. Also Emily St. John Mandel, another Canadian author. I think that Station 11 was like one of my favorite books of all time. also had to read it for undergrad. It was great. Would love to read her other stuff too. I have Sea of Tranquility, I think. I have my bookcase is not the most massive, so I have a lot of books that I just like keep in boxes. So that's kind of unfortunate for me, but yeah, I have Sea of Tranquility somewhere, I think in a box under my bed. Maybe I'll read that at some point soon. So stay tuned. So question number 7 in this tag is, what's the last book you read? So the last book that I read was The Notebook, The Proof, and the Third Lie by Agoda Christoph, which I think they technically count as like 3 separate books. That's what I counted them as, um, because they are very much 3 separate novels. The writing style and the story completely shifts between the 3 of them. But I thought it was great. Very depressing. Kind of like crazy twists as well, especially the last one. Those books are about twin brothers during World War II in a small town in Hungary. The first book follows both of them together, where they've been sent away to live with their grandmother in this small town. The second book follows one of them, and you kind of find out what the point of him writing. He's writing down his experiences in the small town. And then the third one, shocking turn of events. There's like imprisonment. I don't know. There's a lot of content warnings for it though, so I'd be warned. But it was a great read if you can handle that kind of thing. And I think the twist, I think some people might be like, oh, the twist just kind of like ruined the whole point. But I found the twist just developed character and made you think about loneliness and the consequences of war. Question number 8 of the tag is, what book are you currently reading? And as alluded to in my favorite author discussion, I'm currently reading The Winners by Frederick Backman, which is the 3rd book in the Veritone series. I am 300 pages through, which is like a bit under halfway. I'm loving it. It's killing me, once again, ripping heart out, squeezing it, trampling on it, etc. But it's a beautiful book, and I really want to just like digest it and sit with it. But also, I am going on a trip soon, and I don't really want to have to lug around the book with me. So I am kind of trying to read like 50 to 100 pages per day so I can finish it before I leave. I'm buddy reading it with a friend as well, which is great because I get to talk about my sadness with someone. So yeah, buddy read sad books with people because you get to, I don't know, have people validate your feelings. Sorry, I just burped again because I had bubble tea. All right, so question number 9 of the tag is, what do you use for bookmarks? I will use like typical paper bookmarks. I also like using those like little magnetic ones. Like this is what I'm using for Beartown or The Winners right now. There you go. I like to use, I don't know, normally in a book like this, I will use like an actual long paper bookmark, but I was just really feeling the way that this blue kind of matched the vibes of the front. I do like to match my bookmark to the cover of the book. So yeah, I mostly do use actual bookmarks, or the magnetic ones. I did use a receipt to read Sunrise on the Reaping because I was just like really emotionally attached to it, and I was like, yeah, I really want to remember when I bought this. So there you go. I have used a receipt in my day, or like scrap piece of paper. I mostly use an actual bookmark, and I make it a thing of like picking out the bookmark to match the cover of the book. So the next question is, show us your current TBR pile. I don't really have a TBR pile. I do have, my shelves are kind of, I have 2 shelves of unread books that I would like to get to like sooner rather than later. And I also do have books on my Kobo that I would like to read soon as well. Yeah, I am going on a trip soon, so I think a lot of my Kobo books are going to get read, and then I am probably going to get some of my physical books onto my Kobo through not necessarily nefarious means, but if you know, you know. Right now I think because I'm in once I finish reading The Winners, because I'm in a weirdly like fantastical mood and I'm just really craving whimsy, I think I might go and continue the Stormlight Archive series and read Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. Except I read Wave Kings like 2 years ago now, so I'd have to like read a summary probably or reread it, which I don't know how much of that I have in me, but we'll see. Another book that I started and never ended up, I think I got like 60 pages through, and then just didn't continue because I was in a bit of a reading slump, was Mayflies by Andrew O'Hagan. And I think that would be one that I would also want to read soon. And then on my digital TBR, because I have chronically online friends, and one of them is into Conclave after reading the book and watching the movie. And I think Conclave was on sale at the Kobo store. I ended up buying it. So I would like to read Conclave soon, and I think it's going to happen probably once I finish the winners, I might do Conclave, or I might do Words of Radiance, or I might do something else because I'm a mood reader, so who knows. But yeah, when it comes to Conclave, I feel like I have someone who sends me memes about it, and I send them memes back even though I don't understand them fully. Something happened recently that makes this the perfect time to read Conclave, so I might give it a shot during May. Question 11 on this tag is, which do you prefer, hardcover or paperback, ebooks or physical books, owning or borrowing books? I am very much a paperback girly. I do love a good paperback. I think hardcovers are nice when they're like nice editions and they're nice to display, but I do think that paperback books, there's just something about them. And they're just easier to read than hardcover, I think. Physical versus ebook. I do prefer a physical book. I do have an e-reader that is very convenient. It's great for when you're eating. It's great for when you're like blow drying your hair. Also great for travel. And then when it comes to owning or borrowing books, I do prefer owning a book. I do borrow a lot of ebooks from the library though, through Libby. Because in Canada, Kobo works with Overdrive, which means you can get Libby books on your e-reader, on your Kobo e-reader, and it's great. Support your libraries, kids. Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. Next question is, what book or series got you into reading? I would say this is a bit difficult for me to answer because I have been reading on and off since I was a kid, like Geronimo Stilton, and then I read like I think most of the Laura Ingalls Wilder books. But yeah, I think the ones that actually got me into reading properly in like my preteen, teenage years were The Hunger Games and Divergent. Even then, I just like I did it on and off since then. I'm very much like a mood reader prone to reading slumps because I probably have undiagnosed something. Yeah, it's hard for me to stick with things sometimes. But even if I wasn't reading physical books, I'm always reading in some way. Like I read a lot of fanfic on AO3. But I wouldn't say there's one specific book or series that made me fall in love with reading. But in general, I love reading. It's fun. Good way to spend your time. Keeps the scaries away. Unless you're reading a spooky book, in which you're engaging with scaries that are not real world scaries a lot of the time. So it makes it nice. Question number 13 is, how did you discover booktube? It was probably when I was reading Hunger Games and Divergent and I wanted more like YA things to read. I watched a lot of Haley in Bookland and A Clockwork Reader, who I still watch occasionally now, and then also read by Zoe. I watched her readathon by Zoe videos a lot, and I still rewatch those. Honestly, I think the last time I rewatched one of them was like last week sometime because they're great for reading motivation. Booktube, I've just kind of like I have my phases with it, and I find that when I'm consuming content about reading, that pushes me to want to read more. If I can feel myself getting into a reading slump, I try and watch some of those videos. It's good when you consume content that is like based around an interest or an interest you want to have because then it pushes you to do it more. So I think that's why I really am into booktube and I really wanted to this was part of why I wanted to start this channel. Question number 14 is, what challenges do you think you'll face with your own channel? And honestly, consistency, partially because I don't know, I'm not great at always sticking with hobbies. I'm very like I'll do them very intense and then I won't and then I'll do them very intense. I don't know. Once again I probably have undiagnosed something that probably sticks that contributes to that. So yeah, sticking things out sometimes I have trouble with, and especially if it's like hobby based and not deadline based, that can be a bit of a struggle. But I do really want to do this. Like I'm giving it a try because I think it would be fun. I think sometimes it's like, oh, if you don't want to do something, or if you're not doing something, it's because you don't want to do it. But sometimes I really do want to do it. My brain just doesn't let me. So there you go. I think consistency will be a bit tough also because I live with my family who sometimes work from home and I'm self-conscious about people knowing about this and about people hearing me talk, especially my parents. So there you go. And then the final question of the tag is, where can we find you? As in social media. And I don't have any social media related to this right now. I don't know. I don't want to make this like feel like it's proper like content creation, like trying to like maximize output. I'm just kind of doing this for fun right now. And so I can yap. If I feel like it, I might make like an Instagram or like a TikTok or a Blue Sky dedicated to this. Honestly, I think the one most likely is Blue Sky because I've already been thinking about moving from Twitter to Blue Sky. But my Blue Sky would also probably be me yapping about my other interests, like right now hockey. Not to be like the most stereotypical Canadian ever, but I'm like really into hockey right now. So yeah, sorry about that. I'm not very good at making things aesthetically pleasing, honestly. So Instagram might be like just like random photos of me holding books. I don't know. I'm not good at like design and like coordinating colors. I'm kind of bad at that. And I don't know what like gene that everyone has, but I don't think I have it. So I'm sorry about that. I think that's basically it. Yeah, I've got a lot of ideas for things. Got a whole Notion page video ideas. Some of them have things written in them, some of them don't. Some of them are just like shit posty stuff. I don't know. I also might use this to engage with other content or like microdose other content in here. Like I had alluded to earlier, I'm really big into hockey right now. I was a really big K-pop fan for a while. I have some TV shows that I've obsessively watched like over and over that I would love to talk about. One that comes to my mind is Veronica Mars. I love that show. First 2 seasons of that show. Oh, I eat that shit up. I don't know when I'll make another video. I am also going on a trip and I probably won't be filming actual stuff during then. I probably will just be filming like B-roll of like me going to some bookshops. I have been on a book buying ban recently, but I think when you go overseas, especially during a time where books are so expensive here, I think taking advantage of the trip, buying a couple things that I've been wanting for a while, if they're gonna be cheaper over there, it's useful. So yeah, there you go. I will probably make a video at some point about like all the stuff I read during my trip as well. Got some fun stuff in the works, so it's gonna be good. Anyways, take care. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Hope you're having a good day, and I'll catch you when I catch you. Yeah, good luck, have fun out there.